Hey guys, what's happening? Today on this quick video, we're going to talk about putting a Fox body radiator in my Falcon and what it took. So that may have been somewhat misleading. The title should be, or instead of what it took, it should be what it takes, because you're going to be along on the journey with me here. So this is a Fox body radiator. It's made by Champion. It's a lot bigger than what these little cars came with. Originally, the opening for the radiator came to about right here to there. It was like, I don't know, 20 inches wide, like at the most. Very sub-adequate or inadequate for something making decent power. Anyways, I had to notch the frame rails down there in the corner to get this to sit down and clear the hood. And so those notches are rubber lined, and that's kind of what serves as the lower mount. Like, it's not moving, it's in there pretty good. But for the upper mount, I needed to come up with a way that was going to hold the radiator in place and make it so I could, you know, that it was rubber mounted, because the bottom's in rubber and I want the top in rubber, but also make it a way that I could remove it. So here's what I came up with. This is just a machined piece of aluminum and a peg that I machined as well and press fit in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill and tap this block through these two pieces. This is the shroud and then this upper lip on the radiator. And I guess I'll probably do it on the back too. It probably doesn't need it, but I'll do it anyways. And I'll just do 1/4 20 bolts to match this. So these are 1/4 20s. Where are you? There we go. Little 1/4 20s, and those are just some little I don't know, some like little dress up bushings that I made to make it look a little cooler. And so I'll probably do that here as well. And then for the top part, I came up with this plate that basically is going to receive that peg and is going to, I'm going to break it over the side here so it can attach to the front of the core support here. And also I'm going to bead roll some strength into it. So let's take a look at that. Actually, let's back it up. How I made this is I started with a cardboard template. I always start with cardboard template just so I can visualize things. I'm not that good in my head, so I need to like see stuff. And then I used my my CNC plasma table to cut them out. Actually, here's another one that I cut out. But when I cut it out, I cut that hole too big for that grommet. So this one's kind of garbage. Actually, I may practice my bead roll on that one before I do it on this one. This is just a sheet of aluminum I used. So loaded everything up and I buzzed. I guess I've cut 3 out so far. One ended up in the garbage. This one, the hole's too large. And this is my good piece. I have enough left for one more piece. So if I screw this up, you'll get to see it and I get to make another one. So yeah, we're going to do that. And then over there is my bead roller, and that's what we're going to use to roll some strength into this thing. So don't mind the mess. There's a lot going on here, as you can see, in this shop and on this car in general. So yeah, let's, I guess we'll start with drilling and tapping that and putting it in the center. And yeah, we'll do that. All right, so first thing first, let me grab the hardware that we'll use. Okay, so we got the hardware picked out. Next thing I need to do is get a drill, and I always forget this, what size I need. Let's see. Tap size 1/4 20 is a number 7. Okay, so let's get a number 7. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna spot drill this, and a spot drill, or is it, well, it's actually called a center drill. Fix your exposure. Whatever, this thing's garbage. The center drill, we're gonna center drill it here. So I'm gonna put this thing in the center of where I think it needs to go. Just about right there. And we'll come down and actually, let's do this. Gotta figure out where this needs to sit. I want it to sit totally underneath there. So yeah, that's about right. Whoops. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set this thing up and we're gonna punch that hole. We managed to mark it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I drilled through over there, it showed up on here too. So we will get this thing drilled out. I don't recommend this, but it works. So all that basically does is make sure it gets started straight. Okay, so now we got this done. It is in there and secured. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get on that plate and I'll show you the template I made to lay out the rolls for the bead roll. So, like I said earlier, I'm gonna roll a couple beads in here, but I made a template to do it because I want them to be symmetrical on both sides. So I do a lot of my design work and stuff on the bar or the table in the house. I'll like come out here and get like rough measurements and stuff and go inside and lay stuff out. And my wife gets tired of like all my crap laying around. So like once a week I end up with this bag full of shit. And then she's like, here, take this outside because I don't want it in my house. Here, look at this. Here's my bag. Let me turn that around. This is my bag for the week of stuff. So there's my original template for that part. And you know, my circle template. There was my test piece that I originally built. Templates, some other templates. I'm making some parts for some other stuff, magazines, and just like, oh, I got some fishing stuff in there. It's basically it's basically stuff that she's tired of looking at. She's like, here, get this shit out of my house. So I'm like, yes, okay, thanks so much. All right, we're gonna lay out the pattern to bead roll this. Here is the pattern that I came up with. I cut it out once, and then basically what I'm gonna do is kind of flip it over and make it symmetrical. That way, if I use the same one on both sides, it's gonna be symmetrical. The first thing I need to do is get over to the car and figure out where I need to break this thing. Actually, I might be able to do it off of my old one. Let me grab it. All right, got a practice piece. I'm gonna lay this template out a couple times. All right, I'm gonna do a couple practice runs here. I got the bead roller turned down to a speed that's nice and slow. So first thing I wanna kinda do is adjust the depth. Let's see. So it's touching right there. So let's go one full deal, and then we're gonna run it. So I have one full rotation on the crank handle. Let's see if you can see that. Nope, you're all the way out. I got one full rotation on the crank handle, and then yeah, let's spin this thing and see what I get. Oh no. See, this is why I'm doing practice pieces. Okay, that is pretty terrible. Okay, a couple things. It warped the panel, which is, I expected that. We can do some pre-stretching on the English wheel to get rid of some of that. But let me try and roll that other one. This tight corner was really tough. Okay, that worked pretty good. One thing I was kind of worried about was like all the stop and go, but let's see if you can see that, I don't know. But it worked pretty good on that one, even on the tight end there. It is leaving some lines in here that I don't like. I'm not crazy about that. I wonder if I should like deburr this thing or something, or maybe I'll use a, that's what I need to do. I probably need to use a shallower tool. Let me swap them out. All right, I got another pattern drawn out here, and I got my dies swapped out. Let me see if this one is better for what I need. So there's one. That's all we need. It feels like good tension. All right. Okay. That worked out pretty good. I'm going to swap the dies around so the finished side is on the other side of the, or the finished side is on the template side, or the side I draw it on. But that looks like it's going to work. Okay, here, let me see if we can. See if you can see this here. So that, there's my first two with the deeper ones. Is this going to focus, or is it going to be? First two with the deeper ones, and the last one here worked out pretty good. Let's see. That one, I like it better. So that's what I want it to be, like pushed into it. So this is going to be the top side. Let me switch the dies around. I'll do one more. All right, I got the dies swapped over. Let's see how this one turns out. Okay, that is not bad at all. That one definitely has, let me see if we can get the light off of it. But this is the one we just did. There it is. That's not bad at all. Where I stop and go, it's kind of a little bit, but this, I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm definitely pleased with that. So what we'll do is we'll get the other piece loaded up. I'll pre-stretch it on the English wheel and then come over here and bead roll it. Okay, I did like 3 or 4 test passes on test pieces, and they worked out pretty good. I think I have it set where I want it, so I'm going to try this. Hopefully I don't have to remake this piece, but let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. So I totally ruined that fucking panel. That is hot garbage. Alright, I made another one. I did a little something different this time. I used some Dychem as layout fluid, because when I was up there, I really couldn't see the pencil line too well, so I figured if I did this and then mark it out with a scribe, I should be able to see the line a lot better. So let's try again. Let's wipe it clean and see what we got. Okay, that will work. Is it perfect? Nah, no it's not. But is it good enough for the job at hand? I think so, I really do. Next up, we just gotta get this broke and fold it over and mount it onto the car. All right, I got the flange broke. I just did it by hand. I don't have a sheet metal brake. I really want one. Maybe one day I'll get one. But I just broke it over my, I've got a little anvil over there. Broke it over by hand and rubber mallet. And it's got a soft bend into it. But it kind of matches the contour here. So that's good to go. And then let's see what it looks like to fit it up in here. And yeah, that's the business, guys. I'm totally happy with that. Check that out. If I don't fall over. So let me get you guys off here so we can take a look. Okay. Try not to make you guys dizzy here. But yeah, that's the look. And I like it. Next thing up, I'm going to just give it the old Scotch-Brite treatment so it looks like a part. And then we'll work on making some holes in here for mounting. I think I'm going to use some rib nuts on the part side and then 1/4-20s through the front of the core support. Alright, so what's up now is I have this bolted into position just with a couple C-clamps, and what I'm going to do is locate some holes through the core support into the bracket here, the flange bracket, so I can install some rib nuts into the part. That way I can just go right through the front with a couple of 1/4-20 stainless button heads. Okay, I got the holes drilled in the flange here. This one got kind of close to the edge, but it's really not going to matter. Next up, I'm going to use this rib nut tool to install these rib nuts here. Alright, next thing I need to do is open up the holes in the core support so they'll fit that 1/4-20 bolt. All right, it's finished up. The radiator is fully mounted now, so it's rubber mounted from the bottom and the top. And these are the button heads that I ended up using up front. You can see there, just those 2 little button heads. And rib nuts are awesome. I use them whenever I can because they are pretty rad. But that's really all it is. Just that plate and the bead rolls to give it a little strength. And it does move just a tiny bit here. But it's rubber mounted, and I guess that's kind of the name of the game, is you don't want it stiff to the chassis so it doesn't pick up like vibrations as the car goes down the road. So yeah, that between that and the extra support it's going to get from the radiator hoses, that's in there. So that is the long and short of the Fox body radiator into the 63 Falcon. So we're good to go there. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. We got that done, the radiator's done. And the next thing that probably gonna knock out on the car is the brake system. I'm gonna mount the Willwood Master and start running all the brake lines. I got some cool tools that I purchased for the brake job. So those will be neat to show. And then we got some chassis stiffening stuff to do after that. So there'll be a video on that also. Other videos I have, if you have questions about that bead roller, I do have a kind of boring but in-depth video on that that bead roller and using Chinese bead rollers and making them a little bit better. I blew it out. There we go. Making them better, a more usable tool. So check that out if you want to. And again, thanks so much for watching this stuff. I'm going to continue to put videos out for this car and just kind of things I got going in the shop. I want to be more active on the YouTubes. So cool guys, thanks.